And we are green. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with MMSF1. My water bottle nearly just flipped. My name is Milo, and today we will be doing the European Formula Open series. We're back. A bit of a break. My microphone stand is also not correctly placed. Welcome, Miran.
Yes, hello. It is great to be back with MMS EFO. This very exciting series. We are here for round number 5 of the championship here at Silverstone. Should be a very exciting one.
Yeah, of course, Silverstone, classic circuit, and we're going to emphasize the classic bit because we're running the bridge layout because it's a better one for a factor, if I have to be honest. The current Silverstone layout is the better one when it comes to racing, and I think most of the people can agree with that on me with that. But yeah, this one works better for a factor. This one's more stable, and Miran, to add into this whole sphere of a good race, it's wet as per British weather rules.
Yes, indeed. It is going to be quite a challenge for the drivers, but we have had wet races in EFO in the past, so we'll see how everyone will fare.
Yeah. So without further ado, Miran, let's go to the feature race grid. And you know the drill. It's gonna be me doing the grid, and then you're gonna have the lap 1 all to yourself. So on pole position, it is Ari Soilu from Finland on pole position, still trying to have a championship going on for him, and he is joined on the first row by Radko Betes, the championship leader, by quite a mile. Miran, I'm gonna have to quickly run, so give me a second, literally a second.
It has been literally a second. I don't know where he is.
Miran, I am back. I had to unlock the doors to my flat. So, P3 is Hayden Arbelest for the campus team. I have to say, Arbelest, very good in qualifying. Then we have Katzenberg, Said Louis, Nick Tander, Ismail Alfakuri, Mark Tander, very good for that Benetton car. Then you have Van der Walle, Svoboda, Kara Wattenberg, Valiak, Van der Velde, Carrasco, Moreira, ahead of Miguel. Enzo in front of Miguel, that's a rarity and an oddity. Gallagher, San Marino, Johnson, Pearson, Brown, Aguirre, Wilhelm, Keefe, Vervish, Iwasaki, Bumpington, Moreira, Zarides, Romano, Royce, Stunner, Nawawi, Kaminski, Gaizu, Manzanares, Castillejo, and Berge. Again, in this season rounds of the grid.
Yeah, so time for the race start then. Here at Silverstone, the rain pouring down as the lights are coming on. Ari Soilu on pole position for 12 minutes around Silverstone as we are underway here at the Silverstone circuit. Looks to be just about an incrementally better start for Soilu's. Betes runs wide and they spun round, but Radko Betes is going to be round. The championship leader is going to go down all the way to last place. I can't believe it. Drama immediately here in turn 1 at Silverstone, as it's going to be Soilu who leads from Arbelest and Said El Alawi.
Yeah, Betes just completely misses the line and then the curb spins him around. And oh, look at this. Ismail, so lucky here.
Indeed.
Tander, though, not lucky.
I mean, it was obvious that the rain was going to catch out someone on lap 1, and it just had to be Radko Betes. A very uncharacteristic error from the very experienced Serbian, but yeah, that is at least gonna put a smile on the face for the likes of Soilu and Katzenberg.
As we're watching a few incidents here down the road, I've seen the ALT car of Tander also get damage, and I think that incident is kind of self-explanatory. Katzenberg did cut across him. Oh, nowhere to go for Nicky.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be a penalty for Katzenberg. It should be a penalty for an unsafe rejoin. But yeah, Betes last, which gives a very interesting opportunity for Hayden Arbelest to fight for the race lead, Miran.
Yeah, Arbelest, I have to say, he's had a very good debut to his EFO career as he goes to the inside line of Ari Soilu. Oy. But he's gonna get the rain catches him out on exit there. Soilu's gonna be allowed to retaliate heading into the Vale chicane. as he's going to be side by side. Still manages to defend from the Finn, and he takes the lead here at Silverstone. Good
yeah,
stuff.
but oh, look at this. Zoilo made a mistake, and Katzenberg, sorry, no, that's Saeed El Alaoui, flies into P2 as Ismail is trying to get Zoilo behind him, as that's Mark Tander with damage. I jinxed him already as he gets damaged trying to overtake Nick Tander. That's just on him, but it is going to be a Katzenberg with 5 seconds. If you can note that down, please do. Katzenberg gets a 5-second penalty for that unsafe rejoin, which caused damage to Tander. So 2 Tanders now with front wing damage. Definitely not going to get confusing.
Yeah, but I think you can see how much of a pack there is behind.
Oh, it's another car with
behind Mark
damage.
at the moment.
I saw a Campos car, and I think that's Enzo van der Valle. Yes, it is. Oh, what happened to Enzo? Oh, whoa. Matthew Wattenberg. Well, I cannot blame anyone, is it, really? That's just a racing incident. That's a highly unfortunate racing incident at that.
Yeah, indeed. Shame for Van der Valle. Nothing really he could do there to avoid the out-of-control Wattenberg. But you can see that the damaged cars have grouped together, everyone. It looks like rush hour traffic. It is incredible.
Yeah, and Betes, meanwhile, already up into 35th, as he's climbing his way up the order after that little kerfuffle into turn 1, as Hayden Arbelest is doing an amazing job leading this race out of turn 1. And look at his pack of cars. This is going to get spicy here, as Alaoui is trying to take a bit of a more defensive line, trying to sway Zoilo into a mistake, as Katzenberg, who's penalised, and El Fahouri right behind him, right on that on his tail. It's going to get interesting, as Svoboda slowly catching up to this pack too.
Yeah, Ismail Al Fahouri, I have to give it to him. He's doing very, very well. Speaking of, he's going to go to the inside line of Aris Zoilo, and he actually does get the move done. He tried it on his fellow North African driver, Saeed El Alaoui, but it didn't work for the Egyptian. Either way, I think he's driving a very, very good race as he now gets onto the podium.
Yeah, it's a very good race for the number 9 Speedway car here. Doing a really good job of keeping that car in podium contention, because Speedway racing in MMS history in general, they have been known for being a top feeder series team. So it shouldn't come to a surprise to old viewers here and there. Lewis Bumpington passing Junhua Gaizu in his Durango. Nice and swift overtake, as that's damage to the rear wing of, I believe that's Muhammad Nawawi. Yes, it is. Oi! Oh, what?
That is very odd.
Oh, and that's Betes with damage.
That is massive for Ratko Betes. A bad day turns to worse for the Serbian, but that is a really odd accident. 3 cars just in a synchronized spin. 4 even. Wow, that would make for one hell of a screenshot.
And then I don't think I can blame anyone for this. This is just a stack up again. Betes hits the rear wheel here. He's out of control. There was no stopping that car.
Yeah, there was absolutely nowhere he could go. So it is a massive shame for Ratko Betes, I really have to say so.
Yeah, highly unfortunate. But we already are having a pretty chaotic race thanks to the rain. I think last season in Formula 1 we also had quite the chaos at Silverstone. So...
We did, yeah. But,
oh yeah, there was the whole Van Leer kerfuffle. Remember that thing?
Yeah, I do remember.
I wish I didn't.
I have to say though, Ratko Betes' mishaps, or what should I say, misfortunes maybe, will benefit Aris Zoilo, but Zoilo isn't really enjoying himself too much at the moment, considering he's down in 4th and out of the podium for what feels like the first time this season, but it isn't. So I guess Betes and maybe his rival Katzenberg as well will have at least a bit of saving grace, considering Zoilo isn't in the race lead right now.
Meanwhile, a bit of a spin for Moreira, as Romano and Manzanares had a bit of a touch. Moreira goes on the curbs. The suspension is as stiff as a very very stiff stick, as that was Gaizu going off there. My metaphors are amazing here, but Gaizu, I have to say that's amazing car control. He goes on the curb and does a beautiful 360.
Wow, that is one hell of a save.
It's a shame that he's never in the points to show off that kind of car control skills, but hey, it happens. Katzenberg tries it onto Zoilo, but look, and there's so much standing water there. by the looks of
Yeah,
it. You just can't
I
hold
mean,
it.
anywhere off the racing line is just gonna be filled with water as Katzenberg. What are you doing, Ollie?
I think he locked up. He must have aquaplaned off the track. Luckily, no damage to anyone. Definitely put Soilu into code brown there, as that was nearly a big accident. But yeah, luckily no damage. But the conditions are not making this race easier for the drivers. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is absolutely treacherous right now, it looks like. As Ismail Al-Fakhouri proves my point, goes wide, and that's Manzanares in the wall.
I don't like the side of this. Oh wait, never mind. This is not even affiliated. All the damage, that's Wilhelm's rear wing. Manzanares just loses his brakes. That is bizarre. That is certainly not what you want to do. As Wilhelm gets destroyed by Henry J. Brown.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 10-second time penalty too. I think 10? I think 10 applies because it's a rear wing. So, yeah, 10 seconds.
I would say so, yeah.
Unfortunate. Yeah, but Manzanares first DNF of this race. I don't think he will be the last.
Yeah, not that we do wish for any other DNFs.
Yeah, that's true, but just look at us realistically. I have to say to Miran, Eva Valiak in P8 in this race.
Yeah, very, very well done from Valiak. The Coloni team haven't been a team we usually see in the top 10, so it's nice to see that for a change. And especially in the rain, some drivers do adapt better than others, and I think Valiak is proving that at the moment.
Yeah, but in general, the team of Coloni, both cars running in the points, Moreira on the verge of being in the top 10, so I guess they got the setups figured out here. It's perfect. Everything's perfect for them this round, and I can't wait to see what they cook up further on as we move slowly but surely into the sprint races. Here we go. That's Kamiński trying to make a move onto Gianni Zarelis. Bumpington gets involved in this fight with Kamiński. Bumpington on the outside, and a beautiful move from the Durango driver. Nothing Kamiński could have done there.
Yeah, nice battling in the lower parts of the midfield as Johnson looks to run wide. Is that going to give Aldrich Keith the opportunity to attack the Australian? Not quite.
Keith was actually attacking Johnson, and he did the common mistake of getting into the standing water. Hence Johnson going so wide. But I have to say, it's a bit of a calm race for a change, for now at least. Al-Fahuri getting close to El Alawi, but Soilu now with a dive. Ooh.
Yeah, that almost allowed Zdenek Svoboda to try and get ahead, and he's actually going to try to get ahead now properly, as he's going to swing it around the outside line of Ari Soilu, and he actually gets it done. Very, very nice stuff from Zdenek Svoboda. Very opportunistic move, and he goes up into fourth.
And that's what you need to do in tracks like this, where overtaking is not the easiest thing to do. And Zdenek really nice stuff here. I have to say, I am impressed.
Yeah, I think the reason why we're seeing a bit of a calmer race in terms of overtakes, we aren't seeing as many daring overtakes, is simply because of the weather conditions. As Saeed El Alawi runs wide, that is going to invite Ismail Al-Fakhouri to second.
And he gets a very good exit out of that corner, out of Maggots Beckett, and look at it, and out of Chapel, sorry. And now on the hanger straight, he's gonna make a move onto Hayden Arbalest for the race lead. The Egyptian is not stopping as he tries to reclaim the Egyptian heritage stolen by the British, but no, the Dutch respond in the campus car, and Arbalest is gonna try and hang it on the outside. It's side by side as Al-Fahuri does get the race lead. And it's a spin for Arbalest and Alaoui. I think Soilu also have spun as Svoboda goes wide. He's going to get passed by Katzenberg and Wattenberg, respectively. And that is then down to 7th. Al-Fahuri into the lead. And, well, that's a revelation as Wattenberg is actually not done. He's going to go onto the fellow Bergman. And they're going to go side by side with this little chicane here under the bridge, hence the layout name. And Wattenberg on the outside is going to hang it daringly, but beautifully so. And the Lotus car is up into 5th.
Yeah, that was quite a lot of risk or reward for Matthew Wattenberg, but he pulled it off. And I guess the reward is that he's now up into P5. There is Jack Hara onto Matthias van der Velde. Enzo Moreira is going to try to follow the Australian through.
And he does. Look at this. It's a move completed. Van der Velde makes a mistake and allows Enzo through. And that is a double top 10 for the Coloni Motorsport team.
Yeah, very well done from the Coloni pairing. I think making overtakes and cutting through the field. They've done a very, very good job. We're looking at the 2 racing engineering cars. It's Gallagher leading Sergio Carrasco at the moment.
A bit of a surprise, considering Gallagher's usually been on the back foot compared to Sergio. Yeah. So very nicely done there. Arbalest in pursuit of AlphaHuri, but AlphaHuri, it has better pace. You can see it, the gap is, well, at least was in favour of the Egyptian. But the spearheaded man himself is not going to give up that easily, as the gap is slowly coming to a close. As the race is also slowly coming to a close, 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting. Both Ismail Al-Fakhouri and Hayden Arbalest fighting for their first wins. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see who's going to come out on top. I mean, you can throw in Saeed El Alawi into that battle as well, so...
Yeah, Saeed has caught up to the back of Arbalest, as we're just checking on the back of the field, checking for any moves, any accidents, anything really. But by the looks of it, it's all calmed down in this little world. So here we go, back to the race leaders. Arbalest is close to Ismail, but is he close enough? That's the thing. With 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go, that's going to give us 2 more laps of racing.
I think that was a bit of a slide from Arbalest. He didn't get the best of exits. Could El Alawi try it into Cops? No, he doesn't. But either way, this lead battle is going to be a close one as Ari Soilu gets involved now.
Yeah, and Arbalest gained a lot of time on AlphaHuri through turn 1. That's a very poor run there from the Egyptian, as Arbalest was very wide through Beckett's and Maggots. I always get confused because the first corner that starts the S section is always omitted, I think. No, wait. Because it's Maggots and Beckett's, but it's a Maggots Beckett's Chapel section. It's not just Maggots and Beckett's. So.
Oh yeah,
it always confuses me. You know, this is why I don't like Silverstone corner names.
Well, I just call the entire corner complex Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, that's a bit of a slide from Hayden Arbalest, as Saeed El Alawi and Ari Soilu's battle will be interrupted by none other than Matthew Wattenberg, who storms past the pair. The Molly Katzenberg is going to get past his teammate and championship rival as well. And just like that, things can go wrong that quickly in the rain.
Yeah, Soilu just squeezed out, nowhere to go by Saeed. He goes a bit wide, there's a bit of contact, then Saeed goes a bit wide, and they both lose positions due to a poor exit, so definitely not a good situation for Soilu. Obviously, Katzenberg has that 5-second time penalty, but it still will only promote Ari 1 position up the road. That's still not what he needs if he wants to put up a fight against Bethes.
Yeah, this is not the perfect race for Ari Soilu, not the race that he needs right now. Especially considering he has so much ground to make up on both of his championship rivals. Right now it looks to be Ole Katzenberg who might get it, as we're going to look at the lead battle now. Hayden Arbalest is all over the back of Ismail Al-Fakhouri, heading into Cops and now into Maggots and Beckett. Looks like the Egyptian got a tiny bit of a better exit heading out of Cops.
He did. Look at that, Wattenberg catching up to Arbalest. The Dutchman has to be wary of his surroundings now. It's going to be very tight on this final lap here, as the clock is about to count down to 0. This is the final lap of the race, and it's going to be a tight battle. Look at Arbalest. He's motivated. I think he's going to go to the inside here. Yes, he does, and it's a successful overtake attempt. I think, no, he leaves too much space. The tank snapper is there, and Wattenberg sideways gets through Hayden, the home man here, trying to score a very, very nice top 2 finish for his home Grand Prix. Arbalest has a massive spin and he defends this way, aggressive, but it did work, and he stays in P2 as Ismail has flown away for the race lead, and I think that's the battle done for P1. But look at the pack trying to get themselves onto the podium. This is going to be super close.
It really is now, as you've got about 5-6 cars in this battle for P2. And we have no idea who's going to come out victorious in this battle. One little mistake could, it could have catastrophic consequences here, as Saeed El Alawi is trying to hold off Ari Soilu, which is easier said than done. But you can see everyone is just sliding through every single corner. But this man will come home victorious. Ismail Al-Fakhouri will win here at Silverstone. What a drive from the Egyptian. as Hayden Arbalest will come home in P2 with Matthew Wattenberg. Podium in his home race.
Yeah, and we have an incident on the final lap. Oh, look at the car of David Morris Pearson. What on earth happened here? Oh, no, he's... Oh, Aguirre, what was that?
That was straight into the back of Pearson.
This reminds me of Vettel and Verstappen's accident in Silverstone a couple of years back in Formula 1, but that's an easy 10 seconds for Aguirre, I think, because only 2 cars damaged, be it. That is just ridiculous. Conditions do apply, but still ridiculous. There's another man that's been involved in a few naughties this race. Drops him out of points. Henry J. Brown. Not 16th, going to finish... yeah, but only 1 car got damaged. Anyways, not a discussion for now. William Royce finishes his race. Adric Keefe also already parked it up, I think. Why did Keefe park it up? Did he come in on the final lap? Oh, he had a gearbox failure, but he got classified alright. Thank you. Yeah, but that's the race. Moreira is into the pit lane. There is Wilhelm and Nawawi. We're just gonna wait for them. Ratko Bettis with the fastest lap, so damage limitation as best as he could.
Yeah, it is a shame. He looked to, I mean, especially in qualifying, he looked to have very, very good pace around here, and it is a shame.
Yeah, well, there's always the sprint race. There's always hope, you could say. But here we go, the race is done now. And, well, there is your race winner, Ismail Al-Fahuri. Driver of the race, really quickly, Miran.
I will give it to Ismail Al-Fakhouri. I mean, it's kind of basic giving it to the race winner, I guess. But I think he did a very, very good job securing his first ever race win. And he pushed through in the rain to take a very, very nice first victory.
You know what? I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna give the honourable mention to Hayden Arbalest because still he did a very good job. He's just amazing me because he's been consistently in the points every race, and he's been consistently improving that pace round in round out. He's done Monaco, he's done Germany, and he's scored points in both, and he got himself up into 15th in the championship. That's unusual when you miss 4 races and suddenly you're still there at the top pretty much. So that's going to be one of my picks. So short break, literally give us 2 minutes. Going to post the results and we're going to move the qualifying for the feature sprint race, and we're going to see ourselves on the grid. So literally 2 to 3 minutes, guys.
And
we're back. Hello and welcome, ladies and gents. Just a short correction, it was Kyle Wilhelm with the fastest lap for the feature race. He stole it at the line from Betes, so kudos to him. And we're on the grid for the sprint race, 8 minutes in front of us, and it's Betes on pole position with Soilu. They swapped the places. Like, that it happens. They cannot even comment. The top two has been pretty much the same apart from 2 races, so it is what it is. But down the rest of the grid, we have Carrasco, Alfahuri, Wilhelm, Cara, Van der Velde, Van der Walle, Wattenberg, Moreira, Manzanares, Di San Marino, El Alaoui, Tanda, Valniak, Vervish, Katzenberg, Henry J. Brown, Keith, Mark Tanda, Enzo Moreira, Pearson, Kaminski, Gallagher, Romano, Bumpington, Berge, Iwasaki, Aguirre, Zarides, Nawawi, Royce, Svoboda, Stöner, Arbalest, Castillejo, Johnson, and Guy Zhu, who rounds off the field. So, very quickly done grid, and Miran, off to you for the race start.
Yeah, Betes on pole then. His spirits not down after the first race, as we're going to get underway for the sprint race here at Silverstone for EFO, and we are underway here at the Silverstone circuit. Good start for Ratko Betes, and he's going to lead heading out turn number 1. Soilu's going to be caught out wide though, just as Betes was on the start. He's over the curb, and he's gone. And he's been hit by, I believe that was Ismail Al-Fakuri, the race winner last time out, is out of the sprint race here at Silverstone. Drama immediately once again, heading into turn number 1. The inside line has caught out the man in P2, and Soilu is going to be sent down the grid. First race, it was advantage Soilu, now it's advantage Betes.
Yeah, let's see what happened into turn 1. The damaged remains of Alfahuri's car on the inside line. I don't think there is anything that could have been done.
No, I mean, you're all trying to jostle positions and try and going as fast as possible. There was no way Alfahuri could have reacted.
Yeah, he had Wilhelm on the inside. Suddenly Soilu on the outside. I don't know what to think. I might have to ask the other people present here to give out a penalty if possible, but yeah, Soilu is just down and under, and it's not looking good for his championship hopes.
Yeah, not at all.
So Van der Velde got a bit of damage on lap 1. It's purely cosmetic, the brake covers off. But that was just due to the involvement in the incidents. As here we go, there's Van der Velde. Speaking of him, he's up into 5th, and we might see a few spinners. So watch out for those. We usually have them. There is Andrei Keefe, Kaminski, side by side of Henry J. Brown, I believe. That is not that Sofia Romano. Pretty interesting start to the race, though definitely not what we expected seeing the first race here. That's Van der Velde passing Soilu now. Soilu is just a moving chicane at this rate. That is...
that's Manzanares.
That's Manzanares, and that's a big incident. That's Alaoui with damage, that's Di San Marino with damage, all because of Ermindo. That's not good. It's far from ideal. What happened there? How did you even do that? Both of the Supernova cars in hot water. Okay. And he just rejoins without looking in the mirrors.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean...
He gets a massive slide here, and then he just...
It's just such a, like, narrow re-entry. I mean, I don't really know what else he could have done. I guess there just was an incident bound to happen.
Yeah. With how he lost control of the car, you know something was about to happen too. He could have rejoined less aggressively, I suppose, because the corner does widen here. You can see the corner. He could have just gone a bit straight on, slowed the car down, but then he would have been predictable. This kind of wasn't, and it caused the chain reaction of also El Alaoui getting damaged. So it's possibly going to be a penalty for Manzanares as well for an unsafe rejoin. But as we move on with the racing, it's a bit of a cluster of cars here. It's less than ideal. It's Di San Marino nearly pitching Tanda into the wall, as Romano and Keith have been involved in a big incident.
Ooh, that is
that is a big incident. Oh dear. So this is right behind Manzanares. Keith loses it. Oh, and this is the thing we could have been more afraid of, right? Let's look at the debris. Oh dear lord. So this is what could have happened because of his rejoin. Keith loses it and just hits an unsighted... Oh, look at the amount of debris just going into the cars approaching.
Yeah. And I mean, Romano, it must have been a very scary accident as well, considering after this point you're just a passenger and you can't really control the car. Or well, you can to some extent, but not a lot.
Yeah, it's still going to be the best one. Oh, that is a painful angle to look at. The wheels just bouncing off of other cars. And that's damage in the pit lane.
What?
What happened to the San Marino? Wait, what? Alawi is out. And I think the silence of yours speaks volumes now, Miran. That is...
Yes.
That is just painful. That is going to be a race ban for the San Marino. At least one race ban. So... Yeah, the Prema team not having fun. Certainly not. As David Morris Pearson, I think, was involved in an accident. Oh, yes, he was.
Oh.
And is there anyone to blame? No, he sends it on the inside. Valek has nowhere to go. And Pearson gets pitched into a spin because of the tyre contact. This is on Pearson. He just left Valek nowhere to go, really. So that's that. Back to the front. It is Bettis calmly in the lead as Wilhelm and Carrasco right behind each other. Carrasco doing a way better job in this race than in the previous one. The racing engineer thing seems to have things under control as Valyak, after escaping that suicidal move from Pearson, having to defend from Tanda, Brown and all this massive pack of cars. Look at this.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting as Gallagher gets sent into spin, and look at the calamity it caused us. Leif Börje is in 20th, which is quite the shocker.
Yeah, he is. He didn't qualify last as well. That's another shocker. I guess the Norwegian driver has some shines of pace appearing from time to time, as we might see another car go off here. No, thankfully not. But the cars are not having a lot of grip here. As Castillejo manages to defend from Mitch Johnson. There's a bit of contact between Svoboda and Stöner. Svoboda, really poor race for him at the moment compared to his pace from the previous feature race, as Nick Tando on the back of Manzanares. Yeah,
this is going to be really interesting to see what is going to happen in this battle for 9th now. Nicky Tander has been quite the hot talking point of EFO.
Yeah, also Manzanares gets a 5-second time penalty, just want to confirm that, so I don't forget.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what about Nick Tander? What did you want to say about him?
I guess I mean, if Manzanares has a penalty, he will be ahead on the road if things do finish like this. There are only 4 minutes remaining, but he will most likely be wanting to get ahead on the road here, as he's looking very, very close into the Vale chicane. Vervish and who's that behind? Katzenberg are going to get involved into this battle.
You know, speaking of getting involved in a battle, we have the top pack slowly condensing.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting to see. You'd think Bettis would just run away with the race lead, but Sergio Carrasco is giving him some company.
Yeah, Carrasco definitely getting closer. You know, some might say, oh, Bettis is just not pushing. He's not treating this series as seriously as he should be. But then again, it is not easy to catch a man that's been on F1 for a very long time. As Carrasco gets a very good run from turn 1. Look at this. He is catching up to Bettis. He is doing a very good job here. But yeah, actually, speaking of Tanda, he has had quite a tumultuous career in the sense that it's not been a successful one ever since his Ferrari stint in Formula 1.
Yeah, his Formula 1 career has just been marred with controversy after controversy, it's safe to say. So, Yeah, his F1 career is a bit up to debate, but he did have um, he did have an F1 appearance last season, I do believe.
He had, Wilhelm Kara, Van der Velde, nowhere to go. Van der Valle slowing down, gentleman, allowing Kara to slowly rejoin, but luckily no damage to anyone. Matthias van der Velde, though, very good pace in this sprint race.
Yeah, Van der Velde is doing very well for himself at the moment. So we'll see we'll see if he's going to be able to get up a few positions in these final remaining minutes. As Bettes leads by about 0.8 ahead of Sergio Carrasco.
And look at this little battle. Van der Valle, Kara, Moreira and Wattenberg all in a nice pack. Wattenberg going for the outside run onto Moreira. That's a very daring move. But what a beautiful one it is. If he manages to pull that off. He doesn't, but still, that is the attempt we want to see. This is the stuff we strive for. You know, this out of Silverstone really tests the driver's ability of getting out your airbows. It's not easy to overtake here. There are a few legitimate overtaking spots. If you get creative, though, it usually pays off.
Silverstone is a really fantastic track for overtaking and battling as a whole. That's why it is a fan favorite among many. So we're going to be treated to another spectacle Silverstone once again now, as with under a minute to go, Sergio Carrasco is now hot on the back of Radko Bettes.
Oh, this might be the final lap of the race, and he moves him. Carrasco moves Bettes the side by side. There is contact between the two. Bettes seems to have the better line. It's still side by side. I think Bettes will continue to lead this race. Yes, he does, but Carrasco is getting his elbows out now. He is not going to waste any more time, as Wilhelm is very close. Carrasco moves Bettes again, gets into his rear. Bettes defends well, though. He's not going to let that slide. He's going to keep the race lead, and I think this is the final lap of the race. I don't think they're going to cross the line in time, and I think Bettes just defended. The only time Carrasco really challenged him for the race lead.
Yeah, that was some defending from Radko Bettes, I have to say. Incredibly done from the Serbian, proving that he is, once again, one of the brightest talents in motorsports, and I think he is going to be able to get it. And for the sprint race, it is going to be Radko Bettes who wins here at Silverstone.
This is his 5th victory of the season, by the way. As Mitch Johnson has spun out on the final lap.
Oh well.
Happens to the best of us, I suppose. And to Mitch Johnson too. But yeah, good race. Carrasco gets on the podium, same with Wilhelm. Van der Velde and Van der Valle round off the top 5. And from more interesting news, Kaminski and Henry J. Brown score points. So there are some points for the lower end of the field. As now we're just waiting for Soilu and Iwasaki, Aguirre and Iwasaki to cross the line. There is Ari Soilu, disgraced, just like his championship rival Radko Bettes was in the previous round. So here we go, Soilu across the line. Van der Velde with the fastest lap, so that's an additional point to the Belgian, as the time is not beaten by Soilu. So that has been the race, and way more DNFs than in the previous one, but there is your race winner for the 5th time this season, Radko Bettes for the Williams Grand Prix team.
Yeah, very, very well done once again from Radko Bettes, proving that he is one of the best drivers on the field.
Yeah, not much else you can say, I think.
Yeah.
Can we give a driver of the day to someone?
It is a tough question, I would have to say, but I will give it to Kyle Wilhelm.
Yeah.
I think he did a good race. I mean, he kept it clean, kept himself out of trouble, and who knows, a few more laps and he could have been in that lead battle with Carrasco and Bettes. So we don't really know what would have happened, but yeah, I think Kyle Wilhelm gets my driver of the day.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give my driver of the day to Jack Kara. Surprised at the pace, and yeah, good finish from the McLaren guy. So next race for EFO is going to be a bit of a no, it's not a deviation, it's the Spa Francorchamps circuit that is going to host the Belgian Grand Prix for EFO. Well, that's going to be a wild ride. That's going to be a fun race. Who doesn't love Spa? But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. We will see you in around, like, what, 30 minutes for Formula 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next time. We should be safe and return your seatbelt, and bye-bye.